With Man-Bat's horrifying new plot unleashed upon Gotham City, Bruce and Damian will need to unite if ever they hope to overcome this threat, but perhaps the real salvation lies in an unlikely third party. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Batman and Robin issue number 10 and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up directly from where the last issue had left off, Kirk Langstrom Man-Bat had unleashed an entire colony, knees worth of wild bats laced with his brand new serum that can turn people into horrifying animal-human hybrids, but more than likely just kill them. Batman attempts to give chase, but it's difficult when he not only can't fly, but also because he's still feeling the effects of Man-Bat's torture from the previous issue. In fact, when Damian makes the scene, we realize Man-Bat had actually dosed Batman with the same sort of strange truth serum that he used on the Splicer Doctor all the way back in issue 1. In fact, this will actually be the first of many direct callbacks to the first arc. On the upside, though, Batman and Damian did manage to make short work of Man-Bat's cult, meaning that they only need to deal with Langstrom and his plague carriers. From here on out, the only problem is they're not exactly sure how they're going to make that happen. It's from there we smash cut over to the Gotham Hospital where Flatline is dropping off Miss Hall, aka the almost fatally injured Shush. And well, you just know this is a comic book fantasy because an injured person is taken right off the street and into the hospital without having to fill out any paperwork or wait for hours. Geez, must be nice. Before she gets taken in, though, Hall manages to hand off a special gas pellet gun to Flatline, saying that it's the key to taking down Langstrom once and for all. And speaking of Langstrom, when we transition on back over to Man-Bat, he's struck a pose on a nearby gargoyle and goes on a whole big supervillainish spiel about how great his plan is going right now, how the bats will allow him to evolve Gotham City to the next level to protect them from the horrors of this awful city in the same way the Man-Bat protects Langstrom. And that after tonight, the symbol of the bat will truly be stolen away from Batman and given back to its true rightful owner, the Man-Bat. Of course, Bruce refuses to let this happen and is willing to fight tooth and nail if it means stopping this horrible plot. Damian is between a rock and a hard place, though. He has one of Mr. Freeze's old guns, but he's afraid to fire it at Langstrom, fearing that his father might very well fall out of the sky to his death if he does. Luckily, Flatline is able to tag in at the last minute with the also important assist, making it so that Batman is able to use the gas gun against Langstrom. Now, what exactly does the gas do? Well, turns out it's an upgraded version of the pheromone weapon that Shush used against Batman in the first couple issues, the one that made him absolutely unresistible to bats, meaning that Langstrom's own plague carriers stop spreading their sickness across the city and instead opt to attack him, only with the added twist that when they attack him, they actually end up undoing his Man-Bat transformation. Now again, I don't know if it was the infected bats who did that or the gas pellet that did that. Either way, Langstrom is back and has no actual memory of all the evil deeds he committed as this new, darker, more sinister Man-Bat. Hell, he doesn't even remember being brought back to life this time. Batman theorizes that at some point Langstrom might very well have developed more split personalities, but that's something they're going to have to look into later as they still have a fair amount of cleanup left to do. It seems that after she revealed herself at the school, Mistress Harsh, the principal, was taken into DEO custody by Cameron Chase. Batman has to admittedly apologize to his son. As it turned out, Damian's rampant paranoia was actually 100% on the money in this situation. I mean, I don't know if that's the sort of behavior that Bruce wants to stoke in his son, but hey, here it is. Also, because Langstrom is basically back to normal now, he vows to work off his prison sentence with that Splicer Doctor from the first couple issues, trying to undo all the terrible things he did, and help everyone affected get back to normal. Flatline also takes this opportunity to say her tearful goodbye. She says that her work here is done now that she's dealt with her sister, though Damian wonders if that wasn't the only reason she stopped by Gotham. And indeed, Flatline did come to Gotham City because of Damian, but not for the reasons he might think. It's because Flatline is actively working for Ra's al Ghul. Now, earlier on in the story, I thought that Flatline was just having visions or flashbacks of Ra's, but no, turns out she's actively working for his ghost who's following her around. Even though when we last saw him in Lazarus Planet, he seemingly wasn't a ghost, but a flesh and blood dude, clearly this story has some more explanation it needs to do. Now, in a nice bit of bookending and bringing everything full circle, you'll recall that in the first issue, Damian made breakfast for his father. Well, now Bruce is looking to return the favor by making breakfast for his son, even though it's at night. Though if we're being completely honest here, breakfast for dinner, in my humble opinion, is one of life's simplest and most beautiful pleasures. Bruce and Damian take this moment to share some nice father-son time, saying that their life is crazy and chaotic, but it doesn't always need to be, and that they should probably stop and smell the roses like they're doing right now. But hey, because this is a Superman book, and because Batman and Robin's life is indeed chaotic, Bruce and Damian get met by an old friend up on the roof. It's Goliath, Damian's fuzzy gargoyle pet creature thing. I want to say we haven't seen this thing since Robin War, but I could be wrong. Either way, it's nice to know that Joshua Williamson hasn't forgotten this part of Damian Wayne's long career as Robin. That's not the only callback either, as Goliath is carrying a message from Lazarus Island from none other than Nobody, aka Henry Ducard's granddaughter, as well as Damian's previous implied love interest before Flatline. Ooh, do I smell a love triangle in the future? Apparently, before Damian left Lazarus Island, he set Nobody to work using her detective skills to try and hunt somebody down, someone who supposedly died in Arkham Asylum, the man who broke the bat, Bane, but also the man who killed Alfred. It would seem that Santa Prisca's favorite son has washed up on Lazarus Island, and Damian takes this as a sign to finish some old business as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Batman and Robin issue number 10, everybody, the big finale for this second Joshua Williamson arc, and overall I would say it was something of a mixed bag. Despite 9 whole issues of build-up and Kirk Langstrom Man-Bat being this big overarching villain with this big master plan, he sure was defeated pretty easily, wasn't he? I mean, I guess it's good that Williamson honored everything that Langstrom had done as a good guy over in Justice League Dark and all those other books and didn't see fit to keep him as a bad guy at the end of this story. But man alive, do they defeat him easily just by gassing him. I mean, yeah, there is some poetic irony that the bats ultimately do him in, showing that Batman is the true owner of the bat symbol in Gotham. But I was just really hoping for more from this guy. I was really being won over by the darker, more sinister Man-Bat, who used both his mad genius and superhuman physique to overpower Batman. Now, even though that part of the story ended abruptly, I did actually quite enjoy the wrap-up with Mistress Harge, Batman and his son having breakfast, and the promise of more stuff to come with Flatline. That was good, that was character-focused, and the promise of having Joshua Williamson write more Bane certainly has me excited. Overall, I would give this one a 7.5 out of 10. Pretty good, maybe even pretty great, but not perfect. Or at the very least, not the ending I was hoping for. I get the distinct feeling a lot of these stories ended up running short because of absolute power coming soon and taking over for everything. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.